all we did is we defined one of the words, the second word, the mean, you can go ahead and cross out. Inverse operation is just a review word that we defined last week. So right now, phones away, earphones off, out of the floor. So inverse operations are operations that undo each other. For example, multiplying and dividing, and adding and subtracting. We went over that. And then yesterday, we also went over the core concept. That's in the middle of your first of page 1 of your note guide. Step 1, to solve a multi-step equation, simplify each side of the equation if necessary. That's step 1. I put a 1 next to it, so if you're after yesterday, you want to put a 1 next to the first sentence. And then the second sentence, then use the inverse operations to isolate the variable. That's your second step. Put a number 2 next to the second sentence. But yesterday, I put this in parentheses, starting with numbers furthest from the variable. So if you're absent yesterday, you want to copy this down. I'll put it back up later. What we're going to do now is on the back side is go over the ones we didn't do. Can someone give me one of the problems we didn't do on the back side? I think we did 1, 2, or 3 or something like that. Which ones didn't we do?
We didn't do 1. 1, 4, 5, 7.
All right, we can do 1, 4, 5, and 7. Okay, here we go. So let's go ahead and do number 1 here. So number 1 on the back side let's do number 1 on the back side. So step 1. There we go. All right, step 1. Step 1 says, to solve a multi-step equation, simplify each side of the equation if necessary. Let's do that. Can I simplify 3x plus 4? Somebody. Wait, I asked, can I simplify 3x plus 4? Why not, Mr. Bowden? Give me an argument. Why can't I simplify that? What's a better way to say what you're trying to say? They're not like terms. These are not like terms. 19, you can't do anything with a number. You can't simplify a number. It's a number. So step 1's done, ladies and gents. Let's go to step 2. Then use inverse operations to isolate the variable. Okay. I got a 4 I got to get rid of, and I got a 3 to isolate x. So let's get rid of the number farthest from the variable. 4 first. So let's do the opposite of adding, so subtract. You got to be kidding me. This is too easy. 3x equals 15. Then get rid of the 3 by dividing. You got to show me all the work. When you're on assignment 4, you got to show me all this work, what you're doing to both sides. If you don't, I'm going to spit the assignment right back at you. You get 0. You got to show me all the work, like I'm doing right now. You're the man. Questions? Did we do number 2, Bowden, yesterday? We did number 2. How about? No, that was actually a different sheet. But did we do 2 on the together? Yeah, it was I let you do it, but it was a mistake. So we'll just do 2 real quick. No big deal. Since you did it anyway, you can relax. Let's do number 2 here. All right, number 2 on the back side. Any questions over here? We're good? So we're number 2. Mr. Vasquez, what side is the variable on this one? The left or the right? Awesome. So, can I simplify the left side? Someone besides Bowden. Can I simplify the left side? Magana, why not? Say again? What's another way to say what you're trying to say? Help them out, Jones. They're not like terms, so you're right. I want to hear like terms. 3 I can't simplify, so let's go to step 2. Step 2 says inverse operations, isolate the variable starting with the numbers farthest from the variable. The number farthest from the variable is going to be 5 of the 13. Help! How to get rid of 13, Franco? No. Inverse operation? Let's add that puppy. We're doing the opposite subtraction. Inverse, inverse, inverse. What am I doing 15? My coffee hasn't kicked in yet. What's in my coffee? Something's in my coffee here. Bye-bye to that, and bring that to equal. 5z is 10. Let's get rid of the 5 now. The opposite of multiplication is division. Z is 2. We're rocking and rolling. Bowden, hit it. After we're done with this.
How's that say that you added 13?
Well, because wait, I'll let you guys answer her. Go ahead, Magadi.
It's negative, you got 10. Oh, you got 13 on that. So you got 3 negative. No, it's on.
Well, yeah, the signs are different. So if the signs are different, Jones,
Oh, yeah.
you subtract, take the sign of a bigger number.
I forgot.
That's fine. That's what the assignment one's about, remember? We're talking about the answer. Did I do number 3 yesterday?
Yeah, yes you do. Yes.
How about 4?
No.
Let's do 4. Here we go. Later. I just gotta get through this because we gotta get to our table talk. Thank you, though. Number 4. Did I do number 5? How about 6? 7?
No.
7? How about 8?
Yeah.
We did 8?
Yeah, you did.
You sure?
Yes.
Stop lying.
I promise you did.
Just kidding. How about 9?
Yeah.
No?
Oh yeah, you did 8 and 10, but you didn't do 7 and 9.
Gotcha. I'm gonna go fast. All right, I'm gonna go fast, you guys. Shoot. All right, step 1, simplify if necessary. Can I simplify anything on the right side? Is there anything I can simplify there?
Yes.
Hit it.
The 2 numbers.
Right, the like terms. 4 and 2 are like terms. They're numbers with numbers, so I can make this 6. 6 minus D. So I did step 1. All right. I simplified the right side. What's the coefficient of the D? No. What's a negative 1, huh? Because this is a minus D. So look what I'm going to do. Just to make sure in my mind I know that's a negative 1D, I'm going to put a plus negative 1. Bowden, hit it.
Subtract 6 to those.
Why'd you get rid of the 6 and then the negative 1 first?
Too close to the variable.
Right, we get rid of the number farther from the variable first. So we'll subtract 6 from both sides. By, I have negative 1D equaling, I have no clue. What is 15 minus 6? Is that 9? Yeah. Is D by itself? D is not by itself. It has a negative 1 coefficient that we have to get rid of. How we can get rid of that negative 1? Why'd you choose division, Bowden?
Because that's already
Right. The inverse, this means negative 1 times D. We do the inverse of multiplication, so we'll divide by negative 1. 5 by to that. Negative divided by negative is positive 1d equals to negative 9. Questions? So what you need to pick, number 5 is kind of important because a lot of people will get confused with the minus d. It's really a plus negative 1d. You want to put that there. Okay, let's go to number 5. I'll go a little quicker now. Hold up. I have f divided by 4 minus 5 equals negative 9. I can't simplify f divided by 4. I can simplify f over 4 minus 5 and not like terms. Let's start getting f by itself. Bowden, should I get rid of the 5 or the 4 first? Do you want to get rid of the 4 first? But it's closer to the f than the 5. Let's get rid of the 5 first. But look at, if we do 4, here's a problem. I have to multiply everything by 4. This and this. See that? So I have to multiply both sides by 4. So what I want to do, let's get rid of the numbers farthest from the variable first. Let's get rid of the 5. That's why in that step 1 over here, I said, actually step 2, when it says, then use inverse operations to isolate the variable, that's step 2. I said starting with numbers furthest from variable. So let's get rid of that 5 first. How would we get rid of that 5, Bowden? Right. Inverse of subtraction is adding. I'll add both sides by, I have f divided by 4 equals negative 9. Let's get rid of the 4 now. The opposite of division is multiplication, so I'm going to multiply both sides by 4.
Hold on.
Talk to me.
Hold on. You messed up. Hold on. Negative 9. How you get negative 9 if it's plus 5?
I'll tell you how. You have to drink coffee that's laced with something.
Hell no. Laced coffee. What you lace your coffee with?
I don't know. We'll see. Let's add 5 again.
You need to add 5. I mean, take away 5.
No, it's opposite of subtraction.
Exactly. You didn't even do that. You just put 1 and negative 9.
Right. I already told you that the coffee was laced. Relax, man. Give me a break. Work with me, Bowden. 9 minus 5. What is 9 minus 5?
4.
Nice. It takes on a bigger number, negative 4. Now we're talking, Bowden.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's get f alone. We're going to multiply both sides by 4. That's the opposite division. And we're going to be rocking and rolling. Make that into a fraction so we can cancel the 4s out. We went over that yesterday. So the f is alone. What's a negative times a positive? That was week 1 in here.
Negative times a positive would be positive.
Careful. Negative. When the sign derivative is negative, it's just negative 16. We're rocking and rolling. Who likes rock and roll? Everybody.
I don't like it. It's too much element.
Let's do number 7. Any question number 5? Let's do this. Martinez, can I simplify anything on the left or the right?
Yeah.
Nice. What would I simplify? Beautiful. It becomes 8x. Awesome. We're rocking and rolling. Hold on. Shh. Jones, what should I get rid of now? What should I get rid of now?
You said what should you do with it?
Yeah, to get.
The 8.
Hey.
What should I do to both sides? What should I do to both sides?
Divide by 8.
Awesome. X equals 28 divided by 8. Let's see, 8 goes into 28. I can leave this as a decimal as a fraction. For now, I'm going to leave it as a fraction. 8 goes into 28 without going over it 3 times, yeah. Because 8 times 4 would be 32, so go over. So it's 3 times. How many left over? From 24 to 8, how much is left over? So 8 goes into 28 3 times. That's 24. So how far is 24 from 28? Well, how much is left over?
4.
That'd be 4. And they keep the same denominator. It's 3 and 4/8, but 4/8 I can reduce. 4/8 is really 1/2.
Do we have to do
So
that?
x equals 3.5.
Do we have to add all that extra stuff?
Well, I just answered that. I said you can go decimal or fraction. I'm going to go by fraction. You could have typed this in the calculator, 20 divided by 8, it'll spit out 3.5 on your calculator screen. 3.5 is 3.5. There's our solution. If you forgot how to deal with mixed numbers, if you type in mixed numbers onto YouTube on the Chromebooks, you literally have tens of thousands of small videos on how to review mixed numbers. That's a long way of saying I'm not going to teach mixed numbers or fractions in here because you have the tools now that I never had when I was your age. You have Chromebooks with YouTube videos to review fractions. Last one, or last two, I'm going to go quickly. Any questions on these? We did 8 already?
Yeah, we did 8 already.
All right, let's do 9. Ms. Mendoza, is there anything I can simplify on the left? What do you think? Don't worry. Ms. Roque, is there anything I can simplify on the left? No what? Nice, so 12x and 2x is combined those like terms. I'm going to use green. 12x, 2x is 14x, plus 4 equals 39. That's step 1. I simplified the left. Now let's get it by itself. We'll get rid of the 4 and then get rid of the 14 in that order. Let's subtract 4 from both sides. That's the opposite. That's the inverse of adding. So I have 14x equaling 35. We're going to have another fraction, unfortunately. Nice. Let's divide by 14 on both sides. I'm going to use fractions again. X equals 14 into 35 is twice because that becomes 28. So 14 into 35 is twice. That's 28. How far is 28 from 35? The leftover? That's going to be 7. 7 left over the same denominator, 14. 7/14 though is 1/2. You can reduce that fraction to become 1/2. So it's really 2.5. Sweet. Go to the front side really quick. On the notes. Right here, that little note section. So where it says notes, go to the front side there. I'm going to do one more nasty one that has distributive property. And we're done. We're done, hon. So on the notes section, go to write this example in the notes section. Let's just call this example what? What's a good number? 10? We did 4 already.
67.
Example 67. Stop playing.
No, that's how many examples we did and talking.
How about put example extra. This is an extra example. Last one. I just want to review the distributive property real quick. So this is on the front side with the note section, the blank side. Put extra example. All right, step 1. Let's see what step 1 says. To solve a multi-step equation, simplify each side of the equation if necessary. Okay, we have some simplifying to do. There's parentheses that these are not like terms, so we have to distribute like we practiced last week. So here we go. We got 12, -5 times positive 3 is going to be a -15r. Mr. Bowden did this for warm-up, by the way, a problem just like this. -5 times 2 is going to be a -10 equals 17. Notice I'm simplifying the left side. I still have more to simplify, though, because I have like terms, if you see them. I have the 12 and the -10. Those are numbers with numbers. I can combine those. Well, let's see, negative 5 times a positive 2 is going to be a negative 10, right? So 12 minus 10 is going to be 2. So I got 2 minus 15r equals 17. All I've done is simplify the left side. I've done nothing to both sides of the equation. All I've been doing is just simplifying the left side. Now I'm in a position to get r alone, to get it isolated. Should I get rid of the negative 15 or the positive 2? Someone besides Bowden. Let's get rid of that positive 2. How, Miss Jones? Doing it. What is doing it?
Adding it?
Nice. Well,
Wait, yes.
well, let's see. If I added 2 here, what's going to be here?
Okay, yeah.
It'll be a 4, huh? I want to do whatever gets rid of it. Very nice. Good, good. Good recovery. So let's subtract 2 from the left. So I notice a lot of beginning students will do this. Look at it. They'll subtract 2 here, and they'll subtract 2 here. Exactly. That doesn't make any sense because now you're subtracting 4 from the left side of the equation, not subtracting anything from the right side. You have to do something to both sides of the equation. Whatever you do to one side, you got to do the other. Don't lose track of what we learned last week, the properties of equality. This is gone. I got a negative 15r equals 15. Now let's get rid of the negative 15 by dividing by negative 15. Notice that. I got r then is equal to negative 1. Nice.